Hello there YouTubers, welcome to Frenzy Inferno channel hosting the SuperAnimeStation. And I know what you're thinking, he's finally showing his face, or part of his face. So yeah, I've tried to think of an approach of how to improve my vid, so I thought instead of putting the little SuperAnimeStation logo on the actual video, I'm gonna put a picture of myself here while I'm doing my review. And if you could take the time to click on the subscribe button, or hit the subscribe button, and press the little like button down there somewhere. And let's begin with this new and improved SuperAnimeStation style video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Naruto Shippuden episode 282, and this episode is not a filler episode, just to get that out of the way. This episode is a legit episode which is part of the manga itself, which I own, volume 57, I believe, yeah, volume 57 is part of this episode. We carry on with, it's still nighttime during the ninja war and everything, where you see Naruto in his BG mode, as well as B following him. But suddenly they're stopped by the Raikage and Lady Tsunade, or Lady Hoka, whatever you want to call her. They stop them from letting them pass through to carry on, help out with the war and everything, because remember, this war is about protecting them. This episode does have some emotional moments, but it does have some quite flashy moments. At the start, we kind of see the Raikage all charged up, everything. You know, he's pretty much right now, he's probably known as the fastest ninja alive right now. And obviously, Naruto's Biju mode is fast as well. I think they're pretty much equal speed, but the funny thing was that Naruto didn't realize, like, it's quite funny that Naruto was thinking, how can he keep up with my speed? But the amazing thing was, from Tsunade's point of view, it's amazing that Naruto is even keeping up with the Raikage in the first place. Again, the Raikage demonstrates his immense ability of, you know, using his enormous amount of strength and speed. Together, when you put two of those together, he is a immense force. He is a indestructible force. That's how to describe him. Even without I think it was his left arm, even without his left arm, he is still a mean machine, or whatever you want to call it. And we get to see that he chases after Naruto. He kind of gets, he hits Naruto at one point, and then they get all rowdy about the fight, and then Naruto carries on demonstrating his speed. And then there was this one point where Raikage mentions the only man that was faster than me was the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, who is Naruto's father, for those who don't know. They battle at one point because they show this little clip of the part of when Minato versus that time he wasn't the Raikage just yet. Yeah, I think, yeah, he wasn't the Raikage just yet, where B was with him as well. This was, I gotta admit, this little scene was quite cool and emotional at the same time, and I think I enjoyed this little part here because he actually talks about how B is you know, you need to help B find that something that's missing. Before I get on to, like, describing what happened in this battle, there's a moment where B defends Naruto. He's like, he gets his fist out, he collides it with the Raikage's fist, and then he's talking about, can you read my soul? Can you read what's inside me and everything? So at that point, it goes back to another flashback of when they were trying to look for B. B is the definition of the bodyguard for the Raikage. B isn't his actual name. It's named for the bodyguard of the Raikage. They had like all these little trainees and everything, all these genin. I think they were genin or something like that. They had to perform the double lariat, which B executes it perfectly, and it's quite funny with his young self all rapping out and everything, which you do see. He kind of takes the mick out of even the dead people this little later point in the thing. He doesn't really take the mick, but he kind of raps while during a funeral, I guess, whatever you want to say. He does. He calls the Raikage a fool, which kind of pisses the Raikage off, and then he kind of smacks B at the same time. But they do train, and B is like the next one to inherit the Jinchuriki, the Hachibi, the Eight Tails, as we all know, the ox or the octopus or whatever, the half octopus, half ox thing, whatever you want to call it. But before that happened, it was Ai's cousin, yeah, the Raikage's cousin, that was the host of the Jinchuriki, but unfortunately he didn't make it through. But before that, he was talking about this emotional scene, like, you have to help find something that's missing. You need something to feel that high. You may have all this power, but it doesn't mean anything. I mean, that part got me thinking, yeah, I think the Raikage doesn't exactly realize what that source is, but he does kind of, in a way, notice it, that it's him who, you know, the purpose of becoming B in the first place was to protect the Raikage, I remember. And when he becomes Raikage later, he forgets all about that. He forgets about the purpose of what B's purpose was, like to protect his brother. Even though they're not actually biological brothers, like, oh, why did I say biological? Even though they're not brothers, they still think of each other as brothers. They are family still to them, because, you know, they've been close. They've known each other for a long time, and I've known B ever since he was young, ever since he became a freshman of the B clan, or whatever you want to call it, where he looks out for B, and at certain points he does take the mick out of B about his strength being puny and nothing, which does seem a bit hilarious at that point. But it does make you think that B has suffered through his life. But at the same time, he's been happy all this time. I think he easily managed to control the Hachibi because he has that something filled in his heart. His brother, like, protecting his brother is probably like his main priority. But the Raikage doesn't realize that at first. So we now can get back to the point where the fourth Hokage, Minato, was facing Ai. At first, I literally charged out at max speed. It looked like he's about to smack the fourth Hokage, but just before the battle, he did chuck out a couple of his kunais, which had all his teleportation seals. But I was like, the timing of his jutsu, his teleportation, is amazing, considering he doesn't even use any hand signs or anything. I don't know if he really needs to use hand signs, or he just needs to do or show one type of sign, but he somehow manages to, like, do a double maneuver kind of thing, because he chucks one kunai right next to the Raikage, or Ai, and then he moves from one point to another, then goes back onto the kunai and literally almost stabs Ai. But B kind of saves the Raikage from that. Again, then Minato starts talking about, I like you. I mean, like, he likes B, but no, they're still enemies, but he still likes him. He says that one day you will need to find out purpose of what you're missing in your life, or else something will bad happen to you, something will corrupt you, stuff like that. But I mean, like, overall, it has been quite an emotional episode. Even at one point when Raikage mentions about his dad being, you know, a loser, not a loser, but he failed in his objective, being the child of the prophecy, even though Naruto's the child of the prophecy, and Naruto gets really pissed off about that. He doesn't like anyone bad-mouthing his dad or anything like that. But in a way, it was nice to see that Naruto can actually say he knows his father, he knows his mom. He feels the void inside him has been filled up, because remember, controlling the Jinchuriki, you need that something inside you to, you know, that something in your heart to fill up in order to take over the Nine Tails. Once he met his mom, he finally knew the purpose of what his parents had done, you know, when he was on the day he was born. But overall, this episode is I recommend watching it. I'll rate it 4 out of 5. Due to there wasn't much action, but the scenes, the past scenes, the emotional, all the emotional tense moments and everything, they do add up. So they kind of left it right there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and this was my first improvement version of my new video of my face, I guess, part of my face. So comment, rate, and subscribe, and remember, subscribe and like. Goodbye.